Hey guys, it's Smart Rye here. Alright, I wanted to show you guys the deck that I've been doing really well at KOG with. I hit KOG yesterday, by the way, with the Triamid deck. I'll show you guys that really quick, and I'll briefly explain that. But I'm also here to show you the KOG deck, not the KOG, excuse me. The deck I almost hit KOG with. We won 8 out of 10. Before I realized I forgot to put Silent Level 8 in the deck, and then that screwed me one duel. Other than that, we've done really well with this deck. We won 7 in a row, so we won at about 82%. So the deck goes as follows. We start with 1 Silent Magician level 8, that's pretty standard. When Silent Magician dies, you summon her out. 2 Alistair. Alistair is really powerful in this deck because it allows you to summon Invoked Spellbooks. We'll get to him in a second. I used him a lot in the TCG. There is an Invoke card that we do not have yet. It's called Invoked Mechaba. And Mechaba allows you to basically be an on-field Ultimate Providence, but we don't have that card yet. So, it's not worth really getting into discussion about it yet, but anyway, we abused Blue Boy with Alistair, and it really makes for some powerful combos. Breaker. This card is really good as a one-of, just to get rid of your opponent's Necro Valley. If they haven't, and they do not have Supernaturals on the field, then you can deal with Necro Valley. That's really good for that. Or just dealing with some random back row that may cause problems. 3 Spellbook, Blue Boy. Blue Boy is essential, as is your Secrets, because it really thins the deck out and gets in your Spellbooks. Dumps your Spellbooks in the graveyard for your Fate plays. Library, this is a personal tech choice. I think that Library just makes your Spellbook of Fate more live later on in the game. You could take this out, might take this out for Spellbook of Power, because Spellbook of Power can come in handy in some situations. We'll see. 2 Spellbook of Fate. Fate is really important because obviously it's the core of your deck. You're banishing your opponent's cards. That's what you want to do. Its second effect does come in handy occasionally because it does not target. It's non-target Canadia, essentially, its second effect. So that could come in handy late game if you decide you lacking Spellbooks in the grave and you just need to use an effect to deal with your opponent's monster in some way. That's a way. Also, if you use Library of the Crescent, and for some reason you fate them that turn, like turn 1, you fate your opponent, and then you use Eternity to get back your fate, that second effect could also come in handy because you may still have Spellbooks in your graveyard for an opponent's turn. So I'll show you the play. You activate your Library, then you search your, hopefully you have Secrets in hand too, because you don't really want to activate Library without having this, because otherwise you could screw your play. So you activate Library, search whatever this, Fate, Master, Eternity, then you, whatever one you get, you play Secrets, then you search the one you don't have, so you would go Secrets, Master, now you have 3 Spellbooks in the grave, between this, Secrets, and Master. If you're getting lost, just message me on a Discord and I will help you out with that. And then you search your organization. Now you have 4 in the grave, right? Then you activate Fate. You banish whatever card is your opponent's problem. Then you use Eternity. And then if you have another Fate, then you have to have 2 Fates really for this combo. Then you can set the Fate and reuse another Fate. Alright, so you have to kind of have 2 Fates for this combo. But if you do have 2 Fates in your hand, you can use that combo. You have to use Eternity though to probably get back Secrets for the following turn. But if you have 2 Fates in hand, that's a combo that you can do. Okay? So, your extra deck is Kaliga. Kaliga is pretty good. You can banish your opponent's Dark Monsters. That comes in handy occasionally. If there's something you don't want them to have, so you can banish their Bacon Saver. Or whatever monster, Dark Monster you feel is a threat. 3 Invoke Cocytus. Cocytus is the main Invoke you're playing. This card is amazing. Cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. It's just really good to slow out the game. Invoke Magiliana Sia, I cannot pronounce that, is really good. It's an Invoke plus an Earth. Gets up to 3,000 attack, so you can beat over anything. So if your opponent's playing something like Triamids, or any deck that relies around Earth, then you can do that. So that's actually really good. Alright. Oh, Mike Tonic, I wanted to bring up, I sent you the deck yesterday without 8 in it, so add an 8 to that. You gotta add an 8 to that deck. I don't know, I guess it was 2 a.m. in the morning or 3 a.m. I just got zonked at that point. I was so tired, I didn't even know what I was doing. I just knew I was winning 5 straight, so I just went with it, thinking that I had 8 in the deck, but apparently I didn't. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys some replays that I saved, and then I'll briefly discuss my King of Games deck. Sorry about the cough, I just got over a cold a couple of weeks ago, so, you know, it's still lingering. Alright, so this one, we opened really badly. We opened up 3 blue boys and an organization, so this is not ideal. We can get to Fate. It's a sustainable hand, but as we would say with Triamids opening up Double Fortress, it's a very weak hand. Not ideal at all. So we set the monster, no back row. I start. I normal summon, hard summon Blue Boy. Blue Boy starts the secrets. We're going to activate secrets to get Master. Master's going to copy a Spellbook in hand. Now, I'm going to give you guys a tip here. When the card you copy with Master, don't reveal your next turn setup. Like, don't reveal your Blue Boy or a card that you did not search, because you're just giving your opponent unnecessary knowledge in your hand that they do not need to have, and that just helps them gain more knowledge of your hand, so don't do that. Also, if they have Silent Magician, if you have Silent Magician, or if you don't have Silent Magician, and you reveal a card you don't have, you can get them thinking you don't have it, and then they can make more aggressive plays. So, for example, what they might do is, if you do this and they see that you don't have Silent Magician, they may use Canadia on your monster, thinking now that you do not have Silent Magician. It's a gutsy play on their behalf, because they're taking a risk, but it's just a reason not to give them unnecessary knowledge of your hand. Alright, so then we're going to follow up with Organization, we're going to set Fate, and then we're going to end turn. So, not a strong turn 1 play, but it's the play we had to make. Now, he summons Chaos Sorcerer. We're going to wait for him to activate his effect, because then he can't attack us. So, right now we're just trying to avoid getting OTK'd here. So we're going to banish his Brave Neos. He hard tributes Neos. Activates Beatdown. Swings him for 28. We're going to take it. Now, we top deck Alice the Invoker. Now, we're going to summon our Blue Boy. We're going to return Alice. Well, he's scooped anyway. What we're going to do is we're going to return Alistair and get Silent Magician and banish his Neos. That way, if he top decked a Neos Fusion, we would have been in good shape. So a Scud player. Again, a lot of people just scoop to this deck too, because they just don't want to deal with it. Alright, so this is a really good hand. We start out with Library, which is really ideal when we have another Spellbook in our hand, or a Blue Boy. So we start out with Library, we're going to get a search Organization, normal summon Spellbook of Blue Boy, search her Fate, activate Master. Now, I'm going to teach you guys something here. The reason why we search Eternity and not another Blue Boy is that if we top an Alistair with, like, Organization, we want to go right into Alistair. If we go for Blue Boy, then it puts us in a position that we can't summon Alistair that turn, because we want to get our Fate to our hand. So, I mean, you could go for it anyway, because if you end with Cockatish, you're not going to have a Spellbook on the field, a spellcaster on the field anyway to use your Fate. So, either way is fine. This is just the plays that I've been making. Special Summon Silent Magician, set 2, and turn. So he goes and just scoops. So, again, it's just, this board is extremely powerful because there's a lot of spell cards in the meta, and being able to negate those spells, it's just really powerful. Alright, we'll go over one more replay here, and then I'll discuss my KOG deck before we put a video. I'm also coming out with a Thunder Dragon videos soon, hopefully. I'm just waiting for Mokuba to give me my third Thunder Dragon Dart. Then I have to farm him to get my level 30 Thunder Hunter crap, whatever the name of it is. That special summons everything. Alright, so Light and Dark. Light and Dark is going to return. Our Silent Magician is going to get a breaker. We're going to break. No. I know he has Manifest Dimension. We know he has Manifest Dimension. There's a delay on. It's obvious. He had nothing for Tyrant Dragon. So we summon Breaker. There's two routes you can go here. You can either pop the ass to Manifest and then summon Silent Magician, hoping that he does not top in a Loop Lupine or some kind of, you know, out to the card. They really don't have an out other than a Loop Lupine or Ass to Manifest, unless they're running something like Lady of Salem or the Flames, which really not a lot of people play that. So those are them mostly. They're banishing out to Manifest. So we could have popped that. Now, the reason why I went for his Manifest Dimension is because I was kind of scared that he would eventually draw into a Manifest card, like an Aloof Lupine, and then draw a Manifest card. Maybe off of, maybe draw into a Manifest card, or that he had an Aloof in hand and he was just waiting. I knew he didn't have Aloof in hand. I knew he didn't have Aloof in hand because he would have used Aloof with this. Reality, I should have popped the Ass to Manifest because he wouldn't have been able to draw into, at least in the immediate turn, into another Manifest monster that he could have banished, a way to banish the Manifest monster, excuse me. So, reality, I probably should have went for his Ass to Manifest. I popped his Dimension, but popping Dimension isn't terrible either. Popping Dimension isn't terrible because if we pop Dimension, then if we summoned Silent Magician, then he could have brought it back. So, it wasn't terrible. He summons the Aloof, does not use his effect, does not have a Manifest in hand, so that hurts him, and then he just scoots. So, again, if you do not have the ideal hand against Spellbooks, I'm sorry I tied up my words there. If you do not have the ideal hand against Spellbooks, you're in trouble. That's why the deck is so powerful. So that's the 3 replays. I'm going to discuss the deck I hit KOG with. Again, if you want advice on how to play Triamids, definitely go to my buddy Stephen Freshy. He really does an excellent YouTube channel. Phenomenal streams. Definitely check him out. Check out Top for 200 for content, but Steven is a grandmaster with the Triamid deck. I mean, if there's anyone who's going to teach you that deck inside out, it's him. So, trust me, I learned from him too, so, trust me. Alright, definitely check him out. Alright, so we're going to go over the Triamid deck. Now,
dueling is my life.
We did use Dr. Crowler because I wanted to scare people initially thinking that I was playing Darkwood, which I wasn't. Crowler has balance. I know a lot of people don't, probably don't really look into Crowler using balance because it just never shows up. But I'm going to discuss this KOG deck. Alright, 2 Triamid Master. 2 is, for me, is the ideal number because you need Triamid Master to pop face down cards, and it's your strongest speeder at 1800. It's very good against the Subterra matchup because you need to pop their Room Restrict. If they have Final Battle, most of the time you're screwed unless you have the adequate back row to deal with them. Or adequate amount of monsters that Final Battle you could play around. But most of the time, Final Battle ends up screwing you over. Messing you up, that for lack of a better word. 3 Triamid Hunter. Hunter really was good for me. Allowed me to get that extra normal summon. Easily cycles through your field spells. Just really good in general. 2 Triamid Dancer. Dancer is so important to this deck. It boosts up your monsters. The idea with Triamids is you want to build up your board as fast as you possibly can. This is one of my favorite decks to play. I love this deck. It's just so much fun to play. And most of your opponents, they don't even know how to play against this deck. I can't tell you guys how many opponents I faced that countlessly swing in the Triamid King Golem and then get wrecked. I love this deck. It's just so much fun. 3 Triamid Cruiser. Cruiser, you need a 3 of. Yes, will this start work in the lower ranks as a 1 of? Yes, it will. I went on an alternate account and went 14 and 3 with Triamids on a lower account with 1 Cruiser and 1 Hunter. I mean 1 Master, excuse me. It will work. You want 3 for this deck to be optimal. As you get to the higher ranks, you will need 3. Because A, your opponent will Cosmic it. B, you won't be able to speed through your deck as quick. You'll be reliant on Dancer, which will slow you down. And C, you really want 3 for the consistency. You want to open this card. You want to see Cruiser in your opening hand. You really don't want to see Fortress in your opening hand. King Golem's okay to see in your opening hand, but you really want to see your Triamid Cruiser. Cruiser is the best card to draw turn 1 because it really allows you to just cycle through your deck, get your plays off, and really just build up your void. 2 Triamid King Golem. This card is the second best field spell in the deck. It makes the deck tick. Why? Because it turns all your monsters into Armades. So, when your opponent attacks into them, and when you attack into them, they cannot activate cards and effects to the end of the damage step. This card is so good. So good. Because it turns everything, like I said, into Armades. So that means if you swing into their face-down Dark Machines, they cannot summon Desperado. Keep in mind, if they swing into you and you Treacherous Trap all them, after King Golem's effect resolves, they can still summon a Desperado if you blow up a face-up monster on the field. So if you Tretch their monster, and you let's say you Tretch a Desperado, right? And they swing in and King Golem goes, they can still summon Desperado because the damage step will concluded. It never really happened, so then they are able to summon Desperado. I want you guys to keep that in mind. I don't want you guys making that misplay. 2 Triamid Fortress. Fortress is really good against the Master of Destiny Desperado matchup. Prevents destruction. That's the real deck that the most relevant deck that's going to destroy cards by effects. There's not too many decks out there that really destroy by card effects, so Triamid Fortress is fine as a 2 of. It's also really good if you are cycling fast and you get cards to your hand. You can add monsters from your graveyard to your hand. So for example, if I go Cruiser turn 1 and I'm trying to draw into my back row and into my text, this is really important. Fortress becomes really good because I'm able to add back the Dancer I discarded or whatever treatment I just discarded to my graveyard, and I'm getting free advantage and keeping going. Now, this tech, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Stephen Freshy was the first one that I ever saw come out with Mirror Wall and Triamids. He was the first one. He posted it literally the day after the deck came out of Guardians of the Rock. He built the deck right after and stacked 3 Mirror Wall in it. I watched the video. Mirror Wall is his tech. Mirror Wall is really good in Triamids. Really stupid good. And it's really good right now, this format. Why is it good? I'm going to give you 5 reasons Mirror Wall, you need to play Mirror Wall. 1. Cruiser. Boosts up your life points. You're constantly gaining life points. You're able to keep this on the field. That is really good because you're going to stall out decks like Dark Lords and decks that really want to keep monsters out and allowing you to build up with Dancer, and that puts a lot of pressure on them. Especially if you get Fortress out, because then they can't Treacherous Trapple you, or if you get King Golem out, then they can't even use their cards or effects, so no Drowning, no Wall D, no Deep Risen, none of that. So that's really good. Number 2, Ancient Gears. If you go up against the random Ancient Gear, what you want to do is you want to flip this up right near draw phase, so that way they can't Galaxy Cycle on this. You do not want them Galaxying it. Then even if they summon Reactor Dragon on the field, then Reactor Dragon will even have no effect. Not no effect, but they won't be able to swing into it, your monsters. If they swing in, then their monsters are going to get half attack and defense. And if you have King Golem out, they're not going to be able to use Reactor Dragon's effect when it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, because the damage step will not conclude. Alright? That's number 2. Number 3. This card is good against Dark Lord. This card's good against Dark Lord, excuse me. Dark Lord, they play Hatronade. You flip this up on their Hatronade, now they can't tag you. Alright, this is your answer to their Hatronade. Many Dark Lord players are starting to play Cosmic Cyclone, but for those who still run Hatronade, this is a good answer to them. Number 4, Invoke Cocytus. Cocytus is really good right now. Alright, Cocytus prevents, so scroll right over it. Cocytus cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Your opponent cannot target this. This can attack in defense position, right? Mirror Wall does not say that it has to be in attack position to get its effect. Whenever the attacking monster is attacking. And if you have King Golem out, the only way that they're going to be able to use Alistair is if they use it before they attack. And even so, Mirror Wall will half that attack. So for example, let's say you have a 2300 Master on the field, right? And they swing in with a 3900 Alistair that maybe they used earlier. It's not going to be big enough. Half of 39 is 1850. If I'm doing that right. It might be 1950. Excuse me, 1950. So it loses 1950 attack. So it goes down to 1950 to your 2300. It cannot get over it. It is so clutch in so many different situations. Mirror Wall is really good. And the 5th reason is Damage Step. You can take players, there are some weird effects out there that you really want to take it to the Damage Step. Clash takes you to the Damage Step too. Obviously you have to be careful with that. They could bait you to use the Mirror Wall. But if you use Mirror Wall in the Damage Step, there are effects. I know Destiny Heroes aren't really relevant anymore, but that's a deck you definitely want to take to the Damage Step because they can use Mass Change. You know, maybe something like Spellbook of Fate. If you can get them to the Damage Step and they don't Fate you, and they swing in like a Silent Magician into your King Golem, then Mirror Wall, right? Because they can't Fate in the Damage Step. So there are certain things that you definitely want. So that's 5 reasons you should be playing Mirror Wall in your deck. Okay? 2 Treacherous Trap Hole. Now I opted to go with 2. You could also run 2 Pulse, 1 Tretch. It really comes down to personal preference. This is where the trickiest part came for me. Tretch is really good though, especially against like Fortune Ladies, because Fortune Ladies want to go all out and bang down, smack down your field. So Tretch is really good against them, because you really don't want to let them get established. If they get established, you're kind of screwed. Fortress, Pulse, kind of the same way, good against Fortune Ladies, but Pulse is really good in general. It is the centerpiece of all your traps. Why? Because you're banishing cards to destroy things on the field, you're constantly cycling. You're using Pulse to be able to special summon a monster from the graveyard. So how does that come in handy? Well, if you have Dancer in the graveyard, or any Triamid, you could, during their end phase, special summon your Dancer, like in defense, then cycle through a field spell, get your King Golem, and then be able to get Cruiser's effect off in the end phase, and then be able to smack them down maybe with double Dancer on the field. Really good. Really, really good. And Wall of D, just for Dark Lords. Wall of D comes questionable right now. It's good against Dark Lords and Neo, so that's why it's here. Also, if they swing in with King Golem, they cannot activate their cards and effects, so they can't clash you once they do that, so that's really effective. And then they have to debate, so they'll just have to take the damage. After that, they can clash their Neos if they protected it, but again, that's still really good. No cards and effects. So they'll just have to take the damage, which is very good against Triamid if you want them taking damage. How good is this deck right now? I would say it's definitely top tier. I know on Duel Links Meta's tier list they had listed as a tier 3 deck. I think it's a tier 2 deck. I think it's really powerful. I think people underrate this deck. If you let them much like Spellbooks, if they get going early, you're not going to stop them. They'll just be too strong and too consistent. And I think they set up a more powerful setup than Spellbooks. Once this deck gets going, there's no stopping it. Stephen Freshie got top 50 NA with it. He did really well. For me, I played Dark Lords in the KC Cup. I got top 150 with them. Again, it's Dark Lords, so what are you going to do? It's basically, it is what it is. But this is a really good deck and definitely a lot of fun to play. Alright, so I'll just go over brief combos and plays, what you want to do. Alright, I'm going to put things in the side deck spot just so I could show you guys the plays here. Oh, I can't do that. Alright, it won't let me do that. Alright, fine. Alright, I'll just discuss it this way. So, let's say you open up, this is ideal, Hunter, Master, Cruiser, Tretch, obviously, summon the Hunter, activate Cruiser, summon Hunter, summon Master, then set your Treacherous next turn. Now, something I learned is that you may want to use these effects early on to swap out, because the thing is I lost on day 2 my game 4, my duel number 4 at Legend 3, because I was winning 3 in a row, to a Dark Magician deck. Because once they activate Advanced Ritual Art, if you do not know they're playing it, because it was a Kyber, I thought it was Dark Lords at first. So, if you do not know that they're playing it, you will get screwed if you don't tag out early. Because if they activate Advanced Ritual Art, what will happen is, the minute Cruiser activates in the graveyard, what will happen is you'll activate your Hunter or your Master, you'll send your Cruiser to get your whatever, King Golem Fortress, and then they'll be able to resolve and summon Dark Magician. Then the new chain begins and you activate Cruiser in the grave, you'll be able to pop a card in the field. So they'll be able to get rid of your field spell. So, if you even have the slightest suspicion it's Dark Magician, you want to be able to tag these out before the main phase comes, before they can get going, per se. So you want to do that in the draw standby phase. So that's just something you want to do against them. Against Desperado, you know, because most of the time it's Sartorius playing it, you want to be able to use Fortress for that. Then you can wait. If they're going Desperado, you wait. Because then if they pop your field spell, then obviously you want to wait on that. So anyway, back to the combo. Hunter, Master, this, and a Tretch, or whatever back row. You want to tag out and end on either King Golem or Fortress, depending on what situation you're in. Again, depending on the matchup, will determine when exactly you want to tag, draw phase, standby phase, main phase, whatever. Alright? Now, your second hand could be, weaker hand would be Hunter, King Golem, Dancer, and maybe a back row. Now this this hand is still pretty good, because you can special summon Dancer in defense with the King Golem effect. So, again, once you do that, you'll get Cruiser and then another field spell. Now your weakest hand would be Dancer, 2 Fortress, and a Tretch. And at that point, you're just open, because then you're going in really, really slow. You really don't want to open that. Opening Dancer is not really ideal, because if you open up such a weak hand, then you got to think about setting Dancer, because then they may be able to kill it, which could cause a problem. Then it slows you down immensely. So at that point, then you have to be thinking about that. So yeah, that's the KOG deck. We did really well. We hit KOG day 3 at about 4:54 in the morning. I just felt up to playing. I wasn't feeling well that night, so I said, you know what, I'm just going to jump on and I'm going to play this deck. And I did. So the deck ended up performing really well. Getting to KOG date on under 60 wins, about 60 wins. So that's pretty good. Alright, so that's the decks. I am going to be coming out with a Thunder Dragon video, hopefully soon, when Smokeable decides, hey, you can have your third, whatever the Ultra Rare Thunder Dragon is. And then we'll be able to, then I'm going to go get, what's that? I gotta go level him up to 30, which will take me about an hour or so. And then I can get that Thunder Dragon, whatever trap card that's actually really, really good. So, then I can make a deck on that. I have 2 of the Ultra Rares, so we'll make do with 2. I think that will work fine. I also have to get 3 of the structured decks so I can make the Keeper of the Dragon decks. So, we'll end on that. Any questions, comments, deck help? Again, guys, message me on Discord. I'm happy to help. Smart Run signing out.